Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to day 3 of the post Summer Detox Challenge. Yay! So, good afternoon and happy Thursday. And so, give me 1 second. I am going to get my window set up so that I can see who is on and your comments and your questions. So, just give me 1 second. So, I'm excited to join today. See you, but know that you're here. Faces. And we are good to go. So I have my screen set up. So as you are tuning in, please say your name and where you're tuning in from, and just share any comment about the challenge, okay? And so while people are joining on, I will introduce myself. And my name is Sandra Goltry, and I am a registered dietitian nutritionist, and I'm also a certified personal trainer and your accountability partner. And I am here exclusively for you. I have been here exclusively for you for the past 2 days, and this is our final day. I can't believe the 3 days have gone by so fast. And my goal is to show you a different approach and have a hopefully walking out of here with a different mindset to eating healthy weight loss, and just feeling better and increasing your energy levels. And so as you are tuning in, please say hello to me, say hi, where you're tuning in from, and just give me anything about the challenge that you like, that was challenging, that was different, that was unexpected. Just share something, and I would love to hear and expound on that. And so, just to name some of the benefits, for these 3 days have flown by, and I have been enjoying hearing your comments about the challenge, and I hope that these have been helpful for you. I hope this has really been helpful for you. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge the power of group support, because each of you joined the challenge as an individual. You each had your individual goals, but you leave in this challenge more motivated, hopefully more energetic, more, and hopefully shed some of those fears, okay? And some, because a lot of the fears in many cases are just from lack of knowledge and lack of understanding. And so make no mistake, you put the time in, you put the effort in, you planned, you prepped, you shopped, and hopefully you reap the benefits. And hopefully you also see what it feels like to actually have things prepped and planned, to where all you want to do is grab and go. That's the goal throughout the week, is to grab and go, warm up, not having to cook and think about what to eat and what to put together. And so when you already had that thought out, it just makes the week flow a lot better. So hopefully at least one barrier has gone down that was holding you back or maybe hindering you, and count these 3 days as a blessing if you can say that, because that is huge. That is huge. That is huge. And a case in point, I want to share with you. And also, I'm gonna put this in the chat because I do like for people to look at who I'm talking about, so you can see who I'm talking about. And so, Lewis, a dear friend of mine, and so blood pressure is now normal. Fasting sugar levels are the lowest that has been in a year, and he also has more energy. So he was contending with both blood pressure and fasting sugar levels, and he actually was not controlled, and they wanted to continue to increase his medications, and they even wanted to start him on insulin. And I think that's kind of when he was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And in the process, his weight was going up as well. And he had a lot of health concerns. He was afraid that he couldn't get his weight under control. His diabetes were out of control. His doctor did want to start him on insulin, even though he was a type 2 diabetic. So that kind of gives you an idea how serious it was. And then his A1C was in the double digits. His weight was up at an all-time high. For him, it was like 224 pounds, and he's under that, well under that now. His blood pressure was high, and he just felt like he was losing the health battle. I mean, he felt like he was really just taking years off of his life. And the thought of just getting on any more meds just really was daunting for him. And so I was just grateful that he reached out to me. I said his A1C was in double digits. Just some of the outcomes went down to 5.7. So somebody being diabetic, the goal is to have your A1C levels under 6. And for those who are not familiar with A1C, that is your 3-month average of your sugar levels, just to kind of in your bloodstream to make sure that things are in order, basically. His fasting, which is what your blood sugar levels are when you first wake up in the morning before you eat, his was like 173. A non-diabetic, you want that under 100. And now his is like at 109, and sometimes even lower than that. So his levels are wonderful. Blood pressure was like in the 150s over 90s. Anybody like me who has to watch their blood pressure, that is high. That is high. And now they're like 125s in the mid 70s. Ideally, you want it under 120 over 80. So all that's in order. He has more energy. He sleeps better. His LDL levels were high, which is I call the lousy cholesterol. They are now normal. And he just he realizes that he has added years to his life, and those are the testimonials that I love to hear. Weight loss is an automatic byproduct of all of that. If you are dealing with the core, then you are going to lose weight. And so his doctor was surprised because he had been on meds for years, it had been uncontrolled for years, and his doctor was just blown away by how well he's doing. His meds have been reduced, which is also a huge testimony. And so it is possible. And in the beginning, he was a naysayer. He wanted to do the way he wanted to do. And once he trusted me and trusted the process, things flowed. Okay. So just to know that, hey, we all are in the same boat. And sometimes it takes some of us a little longer to get there than others. And so, hey, Lisa, hello, hello, hello. I hope you are enjoying. Let me know how you're feeling going into day 3. Hopefully you have been enjoying this journey so far. And so no matter what level of your personal weight loss journey struggle is, always know that there is a way out. And all you need is the right support, the right guidance to get you out of that endless loop. Because remember, you don't know what you don't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. Lewis didn't know what he didn't know. And so sometimes we just kind of have to humble ourselves and just let go and let somebody else take the wheel. Okay. And so breakdown for today, we're going to recap yesterday real quick. We're going to go over today's topic, which is a hot topic: fighting the sugar cravings so that you can feel better and more in control of your food choices. At the end of the day, we want you in control of the food and not the food controlling you. And there are things that you can do, very simple things that you can do to make that happen. And we'll address any questions throughout this live. And then we will actually talk about the remaining meals and snacks for the day. If I have my stuff with me, let's see here. I don't even think I have my stuff with me. Here it is. Okay, I got it. So we'll talk about the remaining meals and snacks for the remaining of the day. All right, and a heads up, if you would like to, again, take a deeper dive with me beyond this challenge. For some people, the challenge was what they needed to get jump started and get going. For many, they need a little bit more. They need to go deeper, and they need to get more specific to what they need. And so we're going to have an opportunity to take advantage of a flash sale that is going on. This is the last few hours, maybe 12 hours, less than 12 hours of the flash sale. So take advantage of it. Definitely take advantage of it. And this will be an opportunity for you to really gain some tools that will last you long term, and that not only benefits you, but it will benefit your family. So it will benefit your family, it benefit your kids. So it spills over to your household. It's not just this isolated for just you. It will benefit the entire family. Okay. All right. And so we are talking about how to discover. Well, we're talking about fighting sugar cravings today. And so, but yesterday, going over yesterday's topic, a quick review of that, we were talking about discovering the what and the how to eat in order to lose weight. And some of the things that I went over in that is in many situations, losing weight and finding that healthy way to eat and that healthy exercise plan to follow for you. Sometimes it's very difficult to find. And so some strategies that I discussed is, you want to minimize distractions, okay? Meaning eating in front of the TV without having control over what you're eating, okay? That's what's important. And let me make sure I have, this is where we are. Okay, so we're talking about yesterday's topic. And then we also want to bring in your inner chef. So find a way to eat that fits your lifestyle. Find a way to try new things, recipes. Don't be afraid to add new flavors. Another thing I talked about was don't deprive yourself, okay? And so, because this turns into us building an unhealthy relationship with food. If you have a craving for something, and sometimes the craving stems from deprivation, but sometimes our body just wants what it wants. And we need to satisfy that so it doesn't turn into something uncontrollable later. And then buddy up. Having the right support, though. You want to make sure your buddy is supportive and your buddy is not keeping you in the endless loop. So as long as you all are moving forward and progressing and you both are seeking sound and solid evidence-based approaches, then you guys will progress together. Make time for yourself. That is so very, very important. We are all busy. I'm busy, but the key is we got to draw a line in the sand about busyness. We can't allow busyness, whether it's our jobs, whether it's our community involvement. We can't allow our busyness to take place of our health. Okay, we got to find a way to marry the two so that we are more productive on our job, so that we are able to give more in service and things of that nature. So we got to find that time, and we want to have fun. You got to have fun in your life so that you don't get burnt out. Okay, so you don't get burnt out. And so now let's talk about today's topic. Let's talk about today's topic. Okay, so if any questions come up on that, let me know. Cravings. Okay, as you see the question that's getting ready to come up here. So cravings are extremely common, okay, especially among women. Okay, and so a statistic is about 97% of women and 68% of men report experiencing some kind of food craving or indulging in sugar as a craving. Okay, and those experiencing a sugar cravings feel a strong urge to eat something sweet, and they find it difficult to control themselves around sweets or around those types of foods. And so this can lead to binge eating or over consuming in calories. And sometimes, and it can happen on a regular basis. Sometimes it's every now and then. I kind of started off like that. It was every now and then. And then before I knew it, it was habitual. Like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why am I eating that? And that's when we got to really, really, really be intentional or stay intentional about being on top of that, because it can really take over and can cause not only weight gain, but it can cause health problems as well. And so there are plenty of things that we can do to combat that. And so today we're going to talk about 3 things that you can do, 3 easy tips that you can do to ward off those sugar cravings before they even arise. And that's really what it's all about. So if you have a crave food, we all have a crave food, and it doesn't necessarily have to come in the form of a sugar sweetened crave food. Mine was mixed nuts, the deluxe mixed nuts at Sam's. I mean, they're big. I loved them. And so it doesn't necessarily have to come in the form of sweet. So if you have a crave food, what is your crave food? And share that with me. And while I am waiting for those answers, I will keep going, but I would love to hear what your crave foods are. So the first thing we want to do is we want to ditch the sugar, the added sugar. Okay, so careful with this though. Okay. And so we want to ditch it from places like sugary drinks. That is one of the main reasons for unhealthy weight gain and problems such as heart disease and diabetes is this kind of drinking our calories instead of eating our calories. And so that's kind of, they're wasted calories. So it's not like we're really getting any health benefits from sugar sweetened drinks, as we call it, like sodas and things like that. And so for instance, candy and baked goods, I mean, that we want to do sparingly, but soda, I just kind of like, what's the point? What's the point? The caffeine that people think they get, we can get that from sleep, getting adequate sleep, and then just fueling our bodies properly. So we don't need the false energy to do that for us. And added sugars tend to be very low in nutrients. Okay. And so therefore it's going to cause the body to drag more. And we have this high, and then we have this low, and then we want to take a nap, and we just have all these ill side effects. Okay. And so cutting out things that are high in added sugar is a great way to just kind of ward off some wasted calories and some calories that can lead to other problems. So chocolate, let me ask you, Lisa, do you like dark chocolate or milk chocolate? Which where are we at in that spectrum? And it's important to also note that even foods that are promoted as healthy or organic can be very high in sugar. So we have to be careful with the marketing that's on some of the labels, because it may sound all grand on the front, but may not be so grand when we actually look at the nutrition facts and read the ingredients and see some of the other things that's in it. So understanding nutrition labels and weeding out marketing from nutrition facts is essential. And that is a process in itself to really understand what to focus on the label. Oh, chocolate. Okay. Well, see, that's good. At least you like chocolate, because most people, if they're doing the milk chocolate, they're not trying to hear anything with dark chocolate. And at least 70%, I'm not sure if you know, at least 70% is where we get the health benefits from dark chocolate. And so, but the higher the percentage, the more bitter it tastes. And so I usually would start people off at 60. I usually say, hey, try the 60% and train your palate, and then you can graduate to 70%. But when you have at least 70%, then that's when we're getting the heart health benefits in moderation. That's what's important, in moderation, because chocolate is high in saturated fats and things like that. So we have to definitely be careful with portions, but there is a health benefit there. Sports drinks. Okay, that comes up a lot. Coffee beverages, flavored waters tend to be very high in calories. artificial colors and things like that. So we want to be careful. So sports drinks, I mean, even athletes, I mean, yeah, it definitely has it has its place for, I would say, more competitive athletes and those who are training. But for the average person, you can get the same effects from food, from natural food, and there's ways to make that happen for you. And 100% fruit juice. So let's talk about 100% fruit juice, and so which is often avoided because people think it has too much sugar. So what do you think about that? Those who are, I see a few people on. Do you think 100% fruit juice has a lot of added sugar or too much added sugar? What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that? And so 100% fruit juice is the healthy alternative when the whole fruit is not available and it does not contain added sugar. Okay, so you got to read the label though, because you have a lot of fruit blends out there. Honest, I think about kids' drinks like Honest and things like that. It's just reduced sugar. It's just not worth it. You're actually losing the nutrients that is provided by the fruit. So 100% is what you want. Now the key is how much are you drinking? How much are you giving our kids? Kids, it ranges between 4 and 6 ounces a day, depending on their age. And the same with adults. We want to limit that. We don't want to have 24 ounces of juice and we're not eating food. So we want to make sure that we have that balance. So there's different ways that we can get our fruit in: dried fruit, whole fruit, 100% fruit juice. And I already know there's a lot of myths with dried fruit, but it has its place too when it's the natural dried fruit. And so that's the best choice. Which one? And hey, Angela, how you doing? What's the best choice? The 100%? Is that what you mean? But yes, good to see you on. Good to see you on. One of my Rejoice family. And so it's all about reading the label and really knowing what is added sugar and understanding what the serving size is being represented on the label too, because sometimes you'll see 30 grams of sugar. It may be natural sugar, but how many servings is it? So you got to make sure, is that one serving or two servings? In many cases, it's two. So it's really not 30 grams of sugar if you only have the serving size. So it's a lot that goes into the label reading. So you don't have to cut out 100% fruit juice, basically. So it's just understanding how much of it you should have. And so my question is, talking about drinking calories, that's what we were talking about. So which one is your weakness? Is it the added sugar? Or, like when I say added sugar, that can come in the form of sweets and baked goods and things like that. And then when I say drinking your calories, like lemonades, teas, non-alcoholic mixed drinks, that's another big one. The non-alcoholic mixed drinks, those things are full of added sugar that people know it, but I don't know. It's almost like it gets a different mindset when it's in a drink versus when we're eating it. But it's still calories, right? Still calories. So where is your weakness? Is it the added sugar from sweets or pastries or even cereal or anything, or drinking your calories? Okay. And so moving on to our next one, our next action item. Cutting back on refined carbs, okay? So cutting back. Notice I didn't say cut out, but cutting back on refined carbs. When I say refined carbs, that's where we don't have the fiber, okay? So that's the white flour, the white pasta, the white breads, anything of that nature where the fiber is cut out. And so the whole grain versions are always encouraged. You don't have to have everything whole grain because if you don't like white rice, or the brown rice, then have white rice. But maybe you like whole wheat bread, or maybe you like whole wheat pasta, or you'll do corn, so there's other ways to get it in. But we do want to make sure we do get it in because we got to think about fiber, we got to think about our GI health. And so all those things are very, very important. And so, and yes, bread is good and pasta is good. Again, portions. How much do you need? That's what's key. The thing with refined carbs, though, they're low in fiber, they digest very quickly, and they generally will cause your sugar levels to spike very quickly. And so keep that in mind, and it only keeps you full for a short period of time, okay? So in usually an hour or two, you kind of want to munch on something else. So instead, when you're choosing more of what we call complex carbohydrates, like oats, oatmeal, grains like quinoa, barley, whole grain pastas and rice, even our vegetables, okay? Potatoes, corn, as well as our what we call non-starchy veggies, like your green veggies and things like that, your yellows, your reds. So those are going to keep you full longer. They're going to have the fiber. They're going to have the nutrients. that our body needs and that our body thrives on. And so that is where that's where we get our power from. That's where I like to say that's where the magic is. Okay. And so veg out. So that's another area where we can cut calories. Okay. But include our nutrients. So veg out. Now, that doesn't mean cut out carbs and have more vegetables. Okay. That just means we should have more vegetables in addition to our whole grains, in addition to our lean protein, and in addition to our healthy fats. All of them play different roles, and none of them work in its own light, in its own entity, as its own entity. They work together synergistically. Okay. And so the vegetables are loaded with fiber and nutrients that our body craves, that our body thrives on. And so increasing your fiber intake can and will help you to lose weight. And in fact, studies show that simply eating a salad at a meal can help you feel full and can cause you to feel less bloated. But it doesn't have to be a cold salad. It can be regular vegetables as well. And in addition to filling up on vegetables throughout the day, it also helps you to maintain a healthy weight. You may want to decrease. It will also decrease your risk of chronic diseases like heart disease and diabetes and things of that nature, because the vegetables are going to be rich in potassium and rich in vitamin C and rich in a lot of vitamins and minerals that help fuel our bodies. Okay, so where do you feel you need support in improving lowering some calories, or maybe or filling in some gaps that maybe are not there that you may have missed? So is it reducing the carbs, the refined carbs, or increasing vegetables? Okay. And so, and I say too many refined carbs because it's very difficult to say, oh, I don't eat refined carbs. I mean, that's a real clean regimen. And unless you are like at that place where you are at that level of maturity, yeah, it's very easy to do. But for most, it's going to feel like deprivation after a period of time. And so we have to build organically to getting to that point. But again, you don't have to cut them completely out in order to have a healthy eating pattern. Okay. So that's what's important. And here's a big one. So start out your day with a high protein breakfast. And I almost caution to say this because when I listen to a lot of my new clients that come on board and I hear what they eat for breakfast, a lot of times it's nothing but protein. I eat 2 eggs and I have a bacon, I have an avocado with it with some coffee. I'll hear a lot like that. And I'm like, okay, there's a lot of pieces missing. And so we want to have a moderate amount of protein at our breakfast because that is what's going to help get us going, help build satiety. But there's other players. Protein doesn't stand alone. So we have other players there. So we want to make sure that it's well balanced. And because that's what's going to help stabilize your blood sugar levels. That's what's going to cause you not to overeat later in the day. That's what's going to cause you to be able to maintain focus and concentration and not feeling like, oh my gosh, wondering why you're so weak feeling. And so one study shows that overweight women who consumed at least 20 to 25 grams of protein at breakfast, which is about 4 to 5 ounces on average. I usually say for most around that 3, maybe you can stay with breakfast, because if you're having dairy, then you're also going to get some protein from there as well. So you get protein from many sources. They felt more satisfied when they had an adequate amount of protein along with the other players, such as the starch and the healthy fats and things like that. So they felt more satisfied. And then they found themselves not feeling like they needed to overeat later in the day. So we want to make sure that we have that balance. Okay. That's what's important. So probably news for many of us, because we hear so much about just have vegetables and protein at a meal. And so we want to really be careful with that. Hey, Krista, refined carbs. Yep. So lowering refined carbs, meats. And then we see here, I have to give up sweets. Stop it, Angela. You don't have to give them up. Maybe lower it. Maybe you probably have to lower the scale on the sweets and raise the scale for the whole foods and the whole grains and things like that, and the lean protein and stuff like that. So we probably have to just balance the scale off a little bit, because again, you don't want to go cold turkey, because that always backfires. Okay. Always backfires. So in summary, just realizing that it takes time to change your habits. It does not happen overnight. Okay. You're going to slip. You're going to feel like you're going back a few steps, and then you're going to go forward. But don't put too much on you too soon. So don't get discouraged if it takes longer than you want it to take. That just means you have to do more adjusting, and we have to do a little bit more to get you there. But that doesn't mean you're not going to get there. You will get there. Just don't give up on yourself, and give yourself some grace. Got to give yourself some grace. Okay. Remember, we used to hear it takes 30 days to change a habit. Well, new research is saying it takes 66, and and honestly, it takes longer than that. If we're real, it takes longer than that, because we're competing with a lot of other priorities and a lot of other things in our life. So it really takes longer. So there's no perfect number. As long as you don't give up, you're good. Okay. And so we're going to pause for a moment, because I want to talk more about Fuel and Train to the Max, because many people have asked, well, what happens after this? This has been great. What happens after this? And so if you have been holding out on joining Fuel and Train, which is a fat burning, clean eating, muscle revealing boot camp is what it is. Let's talk about that. Hopefully I'll address some lingering questions here. And some people may have some fears about the investment. And so for you all, I have a flash sale that's been going on that ends today at midnight. $50 off the early bird special. So it is $247 versus $297, which will get published tomorrow as the early bird. And so this is exclusively for you all. Or hey, you can even tell a friend. If you know about it, then you can definitely take advantage of it. And so consider that your investment equates to like $41 per week, which is similar to the cost of maybe a basic pedicure these days. So you may be able to get that for about $40, $50 these days. Prices have gone up so much. But Fuel and Train to the Max is going to provide you with 6 weeks of registered dietitian-approved meal plans. You're going to have personal trainer-approved workout plans, and those workout plans are modifiable to your fitness level. So I'm able to guide you on how much to do or how little to do. And if you want to continue, let's say you are part of Orange Theory, or you are part of some other workout program, or you even have a trainer, which is great, continue doing that. And then I can also tailor making sure that the plan is meeting those needs based off your level of exercise. We're going to have live streams for 6 weeks where I am speaking on a different topic each week. And then we're going to have personalized opportunity for personalized coaching. So we're going to always have time for Q&A. If you have questions, challenges, then we are all there as a group. It's outside of Facebook. So it's a different platform, and we'll have opportunity to motivate each other throughout the 6-week journey. All right. And if, let's say, past diets have failed, what's different about this boot camp? What's going to change about this one? And so I want you to know that Fuel and Train is not a diet. It's not a diet plan. It's a comprehensive program, what is designed to help you to shift your approach to health, how you see food, how you see prioritizing yourself in your day and in your life. And so if you commit to following the program, then these results will become life-changing. Okay. They will become life-changing, because these strategies and tools and tricks, they're going to stay with you. They don't end at the end of the 6 weeks. And so I've seen hundreds of my clients do this, and it can happen for you. And when things kind of fall to the wayside, you really know how to get back on track. And so that's what's important. You're going to get more energy, have an opportunity to balance some of those hormones out, control cravings, improve your health, and become leaner. You will see some differences in your body composition. So really, I'll just ask you to show up dedicated. Success comes in many different forms, okay? But they will last the long haul, okay? And let me put the URL up here, so while I'm talking, you can actually see this stuff while I'm talking about it, okay? And what if you're worried about your fitness level? Okay, people hear boot camp and they get scared. They think it's going to be hard. They're going to, burn and have a lot of pain. That's not what it's about. And so these workouts they can get tailored. Okay, they have modifications if you are maybe coming back to exercise because you haven't done it in a while, or maybe you're doing it and if you want to step it up, I can definitely make it harder for you. So it's tailored, and they're short. Some of them are short as far as like 15 minutes, and some of them are longer. So it just kind of depends on where you are and what time you have. So there's a way to make it work. And these workouts are online, so you can do them anytime that works best for your schedule. So that's another beautiful thing about it, okay? And it's a gateway. So this boot camp is about being a gateway to healthy living, to helping you to develop habits and better habits, and to effectively lose weight without feeling like you are restricted. Okay. And so it's time to kind of fit back into your that favorite outfit. Think about the favorite outfit that you have that you want to get back into. you can get back into that outfit before the holidays. So think about that. Okay. So hopefully I have addressed some of the common questions and that you're ready to take the leap. Again, like $41 a week. And so, but these recipes, you're gonna get like 40, 50 recipes, meal snacks, and the such that you can use and pick and choose your favorite ones and that you can reuse over and over again. Okay. So here's your chance to shine and to become the best version of you. Okay. And that's what it's all about. And I'm going to put this in the chat because I know you can't click on the chat. So here is another view of it. But again, the flash sale ends at midnight. So take advantage of it. Okay. So I wanted to do this exclusively because you joined the challenge. But again, tell a friend if they weren't part of the challenge. If you tell them, they're going to have the code. The code is flash50. Okay. Flash in all caps 50. And you will see that as well on the landing page as well. So you'll know exactly what to type in order to redeem your $50 off. Okay. And so two topics, the last two topics that I am talking about is during Fuel and Train are some straightforward advice to losing weight without having to depend on fad diets or feeling like you're depriving yourself. And then in the week 6, I'm going to talk about the ultimate equation to reaching your desired weight and keeping it off. Okay. The ultimate equation. So stuff that you can reuse for years and years to come. Okay. So the boot camp leaves no stone unturned. And the first 7 people that sign up, they will actually have an opportunity to have a one-on-one session with me. So that way we can catapult your results even more. So I'll be able to get more personal with you, maybe a medical condition or medications, or maybe a specific concern that you have. Then we can actually address that and we can tailor that for the challenge. So take advantage of that and become the first 7 before this opens up to the public. Okay. So that's $125 value. Perfectly complimentary. Okay. So any questions, don't hesitate to post in this thread as far as the remaining meals for this week. Hopefully you enjoyed the pumpkin cookies. I didn't do a whole lot with pumpkin, but now when you have recipes, it makes a whole lot of difference when you have recipes that you can do something with pumpkin, but it's just amazing. And then the portobello BLT, I enjoyed that as well. So hopefully you all enjoyed that, especially if you're not used to having those combinations. That's one thing that you can take advantage of. And so let's see here. And so you have the Greek chicken burgers. Those are very delicious. So when I started doing this challenge a few years ago, that was really my first time buying ground chicken. And I was really impressed with how good they were. So definitely take advantage of that one. This is something that I do make often. Okay, outside of the challenge. And then you have the banana sushi. So this is a fun one, almond butter and some hemp seeds. So this is a fun one, fun little easy snack to put together. So as you see, these meals are very easy. The salsa and the tortilla chips, that's a very easy one to make too. Again, I said you can substitute that with a whole wheat tortilla because those brown rice tortillas are very hard to find. They're in the freezer section and most people are not able to find them. So you can definitely use a whole wheat wrap and put that in the oven and take advantage of that. And so if there are any additional questions about the meals that are coming up, as far as the cookies go, they make plenty, as you see. So don't feel like you have to eat them all this week. You can wrap them up and put them in the freezer, and they freeze very well. And so whenever you want to have a cookie, then you can pull them out. Okay. And so remember to refer to your guidebook for substitutions in case maybe there was something that you didn't need to buy because it was part of your substitution list. Okay. And as far as the whole wheat tortilla, I use the tofayan. And so that's usually in the deli section at Publix if you or an equivalent store. So those are the ones that I use and they work really, really well. Okay. And so that is all that I have for you today. Thank you for tuning in for the end of this. Thank you for participating in this challenge. I really hope to see you in Fuel and Train to the max. It's fun. It's a more intimate environment. We're able to see each other and really engage and really have an opportunity to bounce energies off of each other and ideals and motivation and keep each other motivated, including myself. You all motivate me. All right. So thank you for tuning in, and I will see you again next week at my normal Facebook Live hour. And then I hope to see more of you in Fuel and Train, which will start on the 26th of September. All right. So thank you for your participation. Stay motivated. I hope this ignited in you a new level of a mojo to keep you going. All right. And so be blessed. And I will see you next week and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.